What's up everyone, Copernicus Johnson here. Welcome to today's video. So one of the most common inquiries that I've been getting, especially through social media, is how have I been able to keep my body fat percentage down while preserving and even building some muscle mass? Like how I've been able to do this. And you guys, like, especially if you follow me on Instagram, yeah, this is live video, so I can't edit this, I can't Photoshop it. Those photos, those are an accurate depiction of exactly how I look. And that's why I'm making this video. I wanna give you guys an inside look as to exactly how I train. What variables have I been tweaking? What different training styles and approaches have I been implementing to build the physique that you see? So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, everyone, so the following workout is what a typical full body push session would look like for me. I typically start each session with some type of calisthenics movement, and especially with gyms being closed down, improving on body weight stuff has been an absolute priority for me, and I've noticed tremendous difference by doing so. And how I go about, formatting my warm-up is making sure I establish sound movement patterns correlative to the workout that I have for that day. So I knew that I had squats coming up. So an exercise such as deficit curtsy lunges is fantastic for establishing structural balance before moving on to the squat. I also like implementing at least one locomotive movement such as the seal walk, which you see here. It's great for getting the heart rate up, increasing blood flow, and ensuring that your core is primed and ready to go for the workout. While my body's still fresh, I then shift my focus to some type of technique work that's calisthenics based. Once again, today was handstand holds, both facing away from the wall and facing the wall itself. I then moved on to a planche push-up progression right here. As you can see, I'm inching my hands closer to my hips, which is the ideal positioning for this movement, and I have my feet against the wall just to prevent any movement of my body. Then finished off with a planche hold with alternating toe taps just to work on proper weight distribution. Okay, so by this point in the video, you're probably thinking, man, does this kid even lift weights anymore? Well, here we go. So the first movement of the day is a tempo bench press. We've got 4 count eccentric, 1 count pause, and essentially 0 or as fast as you can on the concentric. The beauty of tempo training is it's very humbling is the thing. You have to shut away the ego, ensure that you're religious with the tempo itself, focusing on form and proper execution with every single rep. Following up the bench press, I supersetted that exercise with a lying dumbbell tricep extension, which actually served as a great complement for the secondary muscles utilizing the bench press, obviously the triceps, just to get some volume in. It's time to move on to our first big lower compound movement for the day, which was the barbell back squat. Naturally, because the shirt gets in the way, we had to remove that. Just want to make sure we had nothing hindering our proper movement pattern. Now that we got that out of the way, as you can see, we applied the same principle of tempo. 4 count on the way down, 1 count pause at the bottom, really explosive concentric on the way up. This provided a fantastic stretch in the hamstrings, glutes, and great squeeze in the quads. Our accessory movement for this particular superset was the one-legged wall sit, and let me tell you all, a very humbling movement. So the way that we went about it was essentially a 5-second hold per leg, alternating 4 times through. It was a great way to just rush a great amount of blood into each leg after doing a dynamic movement such as a squat. As mentioned, this was a push emphasis workout, so for our one primary movement that we did for the shoulders, it was a dumbbell push press, still applying the tempo principle, a little bit quicker on the eccentric though. What I like about using dumbbells is there's so much more stabilization that's involved with this, so you really have to slow down the tempo and focus on each rep. We then finished off this workout with a series of accessory movements just to fully exhaust all the muscles that were involved throughout this workout. This first movement right here is a T-raise variation. I provided a more thorough explanation of this movement on my Instagram, so you can check out that post there. It was a great movement for the shoulders. Then we followed it up with a glute bridge dumbbell fly. So really just the upper back traps, a little bit of the rhomboids, as you can see, supported on the bench, and using that posterior chain to keep the hips elevated, get a good squeeze in the glutes and the hamstrings. So it's technically a full body movement with chest emphasis. Last big movement for the legs was going to be a cyclist squat with a goblet dumbbell positioning. Great stretch on the quads. As you can see, it promotes a really deep range of motion, getting good flexion all the way down. Finishing off with a unilateral movement, the unilateral landmine press. I believe it was 10 reps per arm. Another good shoulder stability exercise with chest emphasis.
All right, y'all, this is a slightly different viewpoint, but welcome to my dashboard. You guys, that's going to conclude this video. As you saw, we finished up with some sprints. Hopefully this video gave you a little bit of insight as to how I train as a thing. So I'm gonna go in more depth regarding like my specific variables that I'm manipulating, but a couple of key points, key takeaways that you can obviously gather from the video is tempo. So that is one of the major things that I have incorporated into my training style. I've really been harping on the tempo aspect of things, slowing things down. It makes you so much more intentional with how you train. When you focus on the quality of the rep from start to finish, it's crazy the impact that it has and what kind of stimulus it can elicit from your muscle. And that is the biggest thing. You have to force your muscle into a adaptation type phase, somewhere to where you're eliciting some kind of unique stimulus, something it's not accustomed to. And for me, slowing things down to that extent, extremely beneficial. So that's one thing right there.
Well, this workout was actually a great example simply because there were so many different variables involved in this workout. But another key takeaway, as you saw, is supersets. So I was pairing things, but I also incorporated things like isometrics, holding static positions. That's extremely effective, once again, for recruiting a lot of muscle fibers in just that static hold. And it's been shown to be a great method to increase strength for fundamental movements, whether it's like squats, bench, whatever it is. But it's a great addition to your training regimen. So that's another thing as well. Incorporate isometric work into the mix. That is something I have been doing. As you saw, I do unilateral work too. This I have been, especially through Instagram, but this is something I have been preaching from the start. Because if you are not training unilaterally, that means single limb, whether it's ipsilateral, contralateral. We'll get into the detailed stuff in another video, but essentially if you're not training one arm, one leg at a time, you're really missing out on a lot of potential gains that you could be making. Also, it is extremely beneficial for correcting any imbalances. We are all out of balance, out of whack. Let's just face it. You know, years of bad habits, not doing things like mobility, all the boring stuff, but the really important stuff. Yeah, it adds up. So naturally, our limbs are going to be a little bit out of whack, alignment, spinal alignment, things like that. So throw in unilateral work into the mix. I've noticed substantial progress just by doing so, and I highly recommend that you do the same. So if you guys took anything away from this video, if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more videos like this, or if you want to see certain workouts, things like that, be sure to follow me on Instagram, of course. I'm on there pretty much daily. And let me know in the comments below here what other types of workouts you want to see. If there's something specific, I would be happy to make it. And yeah, just be on the lookout for more videos. More videos. We're going to be more active on YouTube. Not necessarily leaving Instagram, but just kind of, yeah, diversifying or expanding our horizons. So thank you guys again for taking time to watch this video. I appreciate each one of you. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. More content coming your way. Sorry, that was a little aggressive with the little aggressive. But anyway, guys, thank you all once again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As always, stay true to you, do more. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
You know your life is life. Don't nobody do it like me. You know.